time to play ball. Welcome to the podcast with no limits, whether it be sports, current events, or random thoughts. This is the place to step in and stay a while. Your host is a proud alumnus of Rio Hondo Prep, a former minor league baseball umpire, and a man with strong opinions. Welcome to the Get Home Safe podcast and your host, Matt Hersema.
Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Get Home Safe. For those watching on YouTube, thank you for joining us today on the video side of things. I'm here with the lovely Valerie Burns. We're recording another episode. We recorded one a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago, we were planning our big move out, and we're recording the last official podcast in the old house. We are now in our new house, our home, Valerie. And so I thought we'd do another episode here to kind of give everyone an update. And Valerie, let me be the first to say, welcome home safe. Corny, I know.
Thanks for having me on the podcast again. It's always fun.
Oh, I'm glad to hear it. You are, the most accessible guest, we'll say. You're close to home now.
Live-in guests are easy. Yeah.
Yes. And now, but we're in our living room here. Our front door here is behind me. We have our new little home sign up with Valerie and I. We've got our little cubby here that kind of has turned into our background. So for those not watching on YouTube, you have to check it out. But it's taken us 2 weeks. We moved in 2 weeks ago, August 1st. And here we are. This is Monday's edition of the Get Home Safe podcast. We're recording Sunday evening. And I feel pretty good, Val. How about you?
Oh, yeah. I can't believe it's been a full 2 weeks already. I mean, I'm exhausted about with all the moving. I mean, first day when we moved everything in, it was way too hot. Like I even got a little dizzy, and I felt thank you to everyone who helped. Cause that was a tough job. My dad too, he was here.
Oh man.
My dad's a rock star.
Trooper. Yeah.
He
What
helped
a
us
guy.
switch. Like we had this issue with the fridge when we first moved in, not to go on and on about this, but I had this issue with the fridge when we first moved in. I'm like, oh my gosh, I think it's probably too big. And no, you can just switch the door over because it cleared the counter, but you had to suck it in and stick yourself in this corner of the cabinet.
Yeah, minor disasters.
And we seriously, I called over and I'll never, I don't know if I've ever felt this dumb, but I'm talking to this girl that I had originally talked to at that place. And I was like, hey, Nicole, it's good to talk to you again. Hey, little issue. I think it's too big for a place. And she we go over it a bit. And she finally is like, so wait, it clears the counter. So it's not like it's opening and then it's hitting the counter. I'm like, no. And then she goes, would it help if it was on the other side? And I was like, wait, what? And she goes, you can switch the doors. I'm like, oh my God.
We bought a wrong-handed
refrigerator
of all the things.
She's like, yeah, they make it like that because it's a pretty common problem.
Yeah,
We both told each other later. We thought about it while we were picking the thing out.
Yeah.
And we could have had them do it there for us before they ever brought it over.
Oh man.
And it just turned into this big job with me and my dad. And oh gosh, I felt so bad.
Yeah. No help from me, obviously, with my.
You were working.
Skills. Oh yes, that's right. I would have done it had I not been working.
Had we had the right tools.
We'll go with that. Speaking of refrigerators, we got something that is chilling, that has been chilling and is ready to get drank here. Valerie, this was a Christmas gift to you from me.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you love champagne or sparkling wines or whatever. You can educate us all later, but I bought this. I don't know.
It says on the back
prices of. Oh, it is. Oh,
yeah.
okay. So
it's Italian, so it's not technically champagne.
And you love Italian stuff.
Yeah,
so Santa Margarita looks like Prosecco.
Santa Margherita.
Okay. Educating me. Anyway, this was a Christmas gift to you from me, and I told you, I said, we're going to have this on our nightstand and we're not drinking it until we're in our new place and we are celebrating. So it's been like this little motivation for us. Yeah. I'm a very visual guy. You know this.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I can't wait till you and I are sitting down drinking that. So we had some champagne on the last podcast. That was fun.
Yeah.
But we've been waiting a long time for this. Almost 8 months. We'll call it. Yeah. 8 months. 7?
Yeah. Just not at least 7.
Yeah.
Between 7 and 8 months. And the day is finally here.
It's finally here. So if
I'm very excited about this.
You would,
I'll pour yours.
Oh, okay.
Like the sake thing. It's bad luck to pour your own.
Bad luck to pour your own. Man, this just looks nice.
Isn't it beautiful?
Wow. There
I'm
you
telling
go,
you,
my
Italian
dear.
wines. I did not want to come home when I was over there.
So again, 2 weeks ago, we did the podcast and Val's mic wasn't working. We did sound checks. I hope I didn't screw anything up this time.
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be great.
I think we're okay, but we're like,
oh, look at those
look
bubbles.
at that.
So beautiful.
Wow. Well, we celebrated moving out 2 weeks ago with a nice bottle of champagne. This is sparkling wine.
That one was actually
Italy.
French. It wasn't
Well, it was
champagne.
champagne. Oh, it's
But
French.
I still take it because never mind. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter
Doesn't
either
matter.
way. Cheers to you, my
Cheers.
dear. Congratulations. This is
You too.
man, look at us
I
adulting.
know. Oh, it's fun.
Wow. That's
Pretty
killer.
good. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's not too dry.
That's definitely not some like $9 cheap champagne or something. That tastes like championship level champagne, guys.
So this brand though, it's probably
Wow.
one of my favorites in general,
Mm.
but their Pinot Grigio is the best one. Like I've had this weird journey with wine where I don't really like sweet anymore. And I
Journey.
used to think Sauvignon Blanc was way too dry. So I stuck with Pinot Grigio for like a decade. And then all of a sudden I hated it. But this one though, this Pinot Grigio is it's stellar. It's so good.
What do you think? Worth the wait?
Oh, easily.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, that's very satisfying.
Been chilling for
Nice
quite
little
some time.
goal.
Oh, it's fun to have nice things that you can indulge in or enjoy, things of that nature. A
Yeah.
nice bottle or something special or whatever, something that sticks out. So this definitely sticks out.
We
I'm
had
just-
it sitting on my dresser in our room
Yeah.
just to show, just to
Just-
walk by every
hey.
day. Yeah.
We'll be with you shortly type thing, because it's been a long time for us. We started around Christmas time where we wanted to move.
Yeah.
We said, okay, we need to find our own place. And
God, let's just talk about that for a second, about how ridiculous that whole, like, just trying to find a place was.
yes, so
Like,
real quick, today's show, Monday show, you guys typically know is like me rambling about sports or just my general opinions. I'll get to more of that stuff next week. Bill Barnes, I don't know if we're going to be able to record this week. We're going to shoot for Wednesday.
Right.
And then on the program on Friday, Brandon Hayashi, the head football coach for Citrus College. So that is the
that's cool.
scheduled programming this week. So very excited. And so just a preview of today's show, we're just going to talk like we normally do. But yeah, we're going to talk about our moving.
Yeah.
Some of the obstacles we've run into. We are going to touch on last night. Valerie and I attended the retirement party for head coach Ken Drain from Rio Hondo Prep. Val's first real interaction with a lot of Rio and care people. So I want her reactions to that. But yeah, Val, just let's go back to the move. Us moving.
Let's just start at the beginning.
Where do you? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead. Have
like,
at it.
because initially we started looking, I started a job around the same time that we decided that it was time to start looking for a new place. Job's going really well, so I've been very lucky
Christmas
about that.
time.
It was right, yeah, December 4th last year I got hired at
okay.
Hi-Ho. So we decided we were going to move, and I even talked to some of my coworkers, and I'm like, yeah, looking on like apartments.com and whatever. And then a couple friends were like, hey, look on Trulia and look on HotPads. Sometimes you get lucky. I'm like, okay. Every single one that you could do like a little favorite, whatever on it, within a week, it was gone. It was off the listing. So before we even had a chance to view it, for the most part, everything that we liked was gone immediately.
Yeah.
And then there were places, I don't know if they were scams or what, it sounded like most of them were. There were places that were like, okay, fill out this application first. And I was like, okay, if that's real, no, get out of here. There's no way that's happening. And if it's a scam, obviously, no. So then we had your friend AJ trying to show us some things,
Of course, Sandy
and
helping out. Yeah.
like we had applications filled out ready to turn in and places were taken.
Oh yeah.
It was like, and then places wouldn't even show. And then they would have to make, special appointments. So it's just like the state of the world we're in. It's never been this difficult to find a place, I don't think.
What was crazy is, it's supposed to be easy. Go online, exactly what you want, pick and choose and then it
Yeah.
turned into all kinds of obstacles. People weren't showing apartments, showing houses because
Yeah.
of COVID. And like people wanted you to, we already talked about this, but people wanted you to apply without seeing a place.
But
And
they do like a virtual tour, like the person, like the estate agent or whatever the idea was they were going to take like their computer or whatever and do a virtual tour for you, like a Skype or something. And then you would just have to watch from afar essentially. And it's like, I'm totally not okay with that. Like I need to, this sounds so weird. He always teases me about this. I need to smell the place because if there's you can smell mold and mildew, and I'm not moving into a place that has either of those things. We found something very, very good, but he thinks I'm nuts for all the smelling.
well,
Anyway,
no, you need to be like work for, I don't know, the CIA,
like a
or
hound
something
dog,
with
like
your- you don't smell that? I'm like, no.
how do you
What are you
not
talking
smell
about?
it? How do you not smell it? I know I have a big nose, but like that's probably why I can smell everything. But anyway, no, it was just this whole mess trying to find the place. And then we got lucky. One of his coworkers actually helped get us into this place, or
It's
told
funny
us
how things
about
work
it.
out.
Really.
Yeah, someone
Yeah.
had just moved out in the unit complex, and I just randomly asked him and a couple other people too, but
I've been asking my coworkers for months, like, hey, if you know of any places,
keep a lookout. And
yeah.
look at so the irony here. We have a little sign here that was also a Christmas gift that I knew.
Yeah.
I knew if nothing else, we were gonna find a place in 2021. That was the goal. It was
Yeah.
gonna happen.
Yeah.
I didn't think it'd take us 8 months.
No.
But anyway, it says Matt and Val or whatever established 2021.
Inland Empire.
And I put Inland Empire on there because I wasn't sure where we were going to live. You and I both wanted either San Bernardino, Riverside County, not
Mhm.
LA County. And we're like, probably not going to Orange County. And so the irony of it all, even though the little sign is made, is that we're not in the Inland Empire.
No.
We're in LA County. But I can say maybe we made the decision in Inland
Yeah.
Empire. I don't know how we're going to do it, but
Yeah.
little.
I mean,
Yeah.
in all likelihood, no, I want to stay here a couple years at least.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. No.
So I was about to say, in all likelihood, we might end up.
We
back
just got
there,
here.
but
Let's not talk about
No, I
after
know.
all those boxes and things and the bed ups. Oh my goodness. Enough moving. I'm good for a decade, honestly.
Oh my
But,
God. I didn't realize how much I would hate moving until we did this move. I hated it.
Well, because the first time I moved so I lived with Bill Barnes. I lived in Vista Point Apartments in Covina. Then we lived in the house in Eastvale. Each time, somehow I ended up with more stuff, and I thought I'd gotten rid of stuff. But you accumulate things,
Yeah.
especially when you go into a big house. We were each kind of contributing to it,
Yeah.
and it just added up. So much smaller place here that will take some getting used to. But I think we've accumulated.
I feel like I'm used to it already.
Yeah.
I grew up in a somewhat small house myself. And so it's like, and yeah, that was nice having that big house.
Oh man.
But I mean, you can't beat having, I mean, I love having roommates is fun, all that stuff. And I love our roommates, our former roommates, but like, you can't really beat just the two of us in our own private place.
and
Like, I
it's so
can't,
quiet here.
I know.
Outside, I mean, it's really is. It's a very quiet neighborhood. Yeah, it's taking some getting used to. It's like a submarine in here, especially in the kitchen. We had a huge kitchen at the old place with an island and everything.
That's going to take getting
This
used
will take
to.
some getting used to. But,
Yeah, because it's like a galley kitchen. It belongs in a submarine.
you're in my way. I'm in your. It's funny. It really is. I say submarine.
It's so
jokingly.
tiny. Well, especially compared to the last place. Yeah, that it was a 9 foot. No. It was more than that. It was like a 10 or I don't want to say 12 foot long island, but it was
Good
huge.
size.
I had tablecloths that were like 9 feet and they wouldn't cover the thing. So I was like, okay. But this is still very nice. It's perfect for us. We're gonna figure out something for Thanksgiving and Christmas if we host it. Maybe this table. I don't know.
No, and that's the funny
Yeah.
thing is you and I both like hosting, and so every place we were looking at, we were kind of like, okay, what's the layout? How's it going to be? This is
Yeah.
a smaller living room. It's a very small kitchen area we mentioned, but some of the perks though, us 2 bedrooms upstairs. We like having that spare bedroom in case someone
Yeah.
wants to stay over.
Yeah.
That's just kind of how we roll. And
Extra space for our stuff too.
oh man,
Yeah.
of course,
Actually, that works out perfectly because we have opposite schedules.
yes.
So I hate the thought of waking you up in the morning because I hate being woken up before I want to get up, and no one likes that. But excuse me, that's gross. But yeah, like what I do is I like lay my clothes out the night before in the other room because I actually all my dresser's in the other room. My dresser's not even
Yeah.
in my bedroom. And anyway,
That's
works out perfectly.
It's not really a master room of any kind. It's just 2 kind of small rooms, but we make it
Mhm.
work. again, it's not exactly what we wanted. I didn't want a wall air conditioner. I didn't want laundry to not be in the unit. I mean, you adjust, you do the
But
best with what you got.
honestly, like, yeah, and I like that there's 2 levels in this place.
No
like
one above us.
yeah, and we do share a wall, but whatever. Like if it was an apartment, it'd be worse.
Mhm.
You know, it'd be like 3 sides probably that we shared walls with.
How would you
So
describe this? Is this an apartment or
I want to say it's like a condo, kind of.
condo in like
Condos
the
are bigger, maybe, I don't know.
1970s? Like, yeah.
Yeah, I
This
mean,
place is old.
it's an apartment, but it's a decent, definitely for an apartment, it's a decent size. I like that they put in all new flooring, and so it seems
Oh,
like
yeah.
with that, it seems like an open floor plan almost. Not really, but
Nice
almost.
patio. We just put our umbrella up outside.
Yeah,
I
nice
mean,
little
you
set.
enter from
Mhm.
the patio area. Yeah, it's really cool. I've enjoyed coming here every day, coming home, and just it's again not exactly what we were looking for, but it's exactly what we needed. We'll say.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, honestly, yeah. There's the little downsides, like no dishwasher, but
That's my name.
I
That's my nickname, by the way. Dishwasher.
well, I mean, my nickname's Chef with you, so I think it's a fair trade.
No, we do what we got to do. It's we're teamwork. We
Yeah.
work as a team, I should say. And
Absolutely.
but anyway, yeah. So the move itself, we finally it happened quick.
Really quick.
Really
We could have
quick.
slowed down, but
Well, it's July, and the funny thing is to move somewhere, you got to give anyway. I won't get into the lease and everything, but like we were thinking it was mid-July, and the pace at which we were going, we're like, okay, now I guess our target date is September 1st. Well, when I saw this place and talked to the landlady, property manager, I guess,
yeah.
I said, hey, here's what we want to do. Want to move in, and ideally it would be like September 1st because I'm still at another place. And she's like, well, we need someone August 1st. I ran our numbers. I said, you know what, we can do this. This just means we have to pay it.
2 rents.
Yeah, for
We
the
had to
month
pay
of
2
August,
rents,
which
yeah.
not a big whatever. So we had the money, we threw it all together, and we made it work, which has been nice because we've still been able to go over there and get stuff from our old house.
But I will say, if we had just waited another week, which we could have done it all in one go.
Maybe,
Yes,
maybe.
with a bigger truck.
Bigger
which
truck.
next time, bigger truck.
It said 3 bedrooms on that thing or whatever, but no, we have a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I guess
we did need the bigger truck. And I remember months ago,
It's always too big. You always go too big.
I wasn't going to bring this up, but I will now since you brought it up. Months ago, I said, oh, I'll get I'll get a big one. I'll get the biggest one they got. And you're like, no, we don't need the biggest one. So I had that in the back of my mind.
No, but not smallest either.
It wasn't the smallest. It's like a 20-footer, 27-foot, whatever it was.
Oh, whatever.
It was too, we needed more. I mean,
We actually needed someone from the get-go who knew how to pack it all in, because once your friend Fred came over,
okay.
he's like, you guys kind of screwed yourself.
Listeners know Fred. Yeah, Fred was funny. So August 1st, the morning of, and we had a kind of a farewell send-off Saturday night, had some
The night
friends over
before, yeah.
one last time in the bar room and everything. And
Wasn't a good idea for
No.
a hot moving day the next day.
probably not.
We
the
were a
best of
little,
ideas.
yeah, worse for the
Moving a
wear.
little slow, but I went and got the truck. I came back. Fred, I think he slept over. Sam stayed over. He helped me. We just started moving things. Fred miraculously woke up after we've pretty much put everything
all the big stuff.
into
uh-huh.
the truck. So he just started reorganizing. He worked hard for like 9 minutes and was like, well, I was here to help, guys. No, we
sure
love
you
him.
were. No, I'm kidding. I'm seriously so grateful that we had so much help. Thank you, everybody, because
Oh, we
to
couldn't
do
have done
that
it.
ourselves. Oh my God, no way.
We could not have done it otherwise.
No, next time we may want to save up a few months in advance and hire some movers, because
man,
that was a beast.
as
It
you
really
get older,
was.
yeah, that's definitely here. I want all this in a truck and in this address.
Preferably never during the summer again. That would be great.
True. When I
'Cause
moved
that was-
into,
oof.
was it one of the I think moving from the Covina apartment to Cassell? Yeah, it was. It was raining, pouring rain,
It was in February. I
Yes.
remember this, and I was worried someone was going to slip and hit their head or
and
something.
I had a flight
Yeah.
the next morning. I had to get out.
Oh
my
yeah,
signer
that's
called me.
why. That's right.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Lauren and I, that was so funny. Like, you guys felt awful. I could tell you and Mike both felt awful.
We
That
moved in the day, and then we each
Yeah.
had flights out the next morning.
you felt
go do
you
games.
guys felt bad that you had to leave us with all that, and then we paid like a partial rent at Cassell because we were there in the middle of the month, if you remember.
Yes.
We paid the deposit and then we paid like a retroactive whatever. And because of that, like, yay, you guys were there to help us move because there's no way she and I would have done it.
Yeah.
Like we would have had to like pay money to hire movers, and at the time I don't think I could have afforded that.
We got a good
So,
chunk of stuff in there early, but yeah, moving is no fun. It's great in theory. You're like, oh, this will be cool. All this stuff will be in a new place tomorrow or the next day, but it was kind of a disaster.
no,
Are you
it
taking care
wasn't
of
a
that?
disaster. Nothing wrong happened. Nothing bad happened.
I'll say
it was just hard. It was hot.
we got
and-
everything here.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so we come in, we have our keys, and we had moved a few things over here a few days before because we got the keys kind of early.
Wait.
Are you good? Okay. And so I had this vision. So when I get set on something, I don't adjust that great. It takes some convincing sometimes.
You usually tell me later that you're sorry you acted that way.
Yes. See, you hear that? Just want everyone.
Usually.
Usually, yes. And
No.
you're very good about that as well. Wait, like apologizing. Oh, I'm sorry. I gotta focus here. Speaking of apologizing,
Like, not too much.
good for now.
No, honest, we both could be better at switching gears with things.
Switching gears.
There,
thank you.
yeah, because it's like
Well
when
said.
someone comes up with a new idea, I've noticed that with you and sometimes with me too. Like it rubs you the wrong way that you have to change how you're
Something.
thinking about it or your plan that you already had in your head. And I can get like that too. But adaptability, what is it? It's like the greatest survival trait is adaptability or something like that.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's real
I
good.
don't remember where I heard that, but it was something like that. So for myself, I would like to be better at that as well, especially when I hear it coming from someone else. It throws me off.
No,
Big
I
time.
absolutely.
And I don't know why. It's really not fair to the people trying to give me better ideas. Like it's really not fair. It's like, oh shit, that was oops. So it's one glass and I start cussing
Oh
again.
man. Yeah. Well,
Like, no crap, that was a much better idea. Why didn't I think of that? And then maybe it's a pride thing too.
so back to pride and adjusting. So we come in and I thought I looked at the living room. I was like, okay, there's only one place the TV can go and it's there. You know, first thing I think about, of course, TV and the couch.
most important.
She's like, oh, we're gonna
place
have
in the house.
decoration. This I said, I don't care. Where's the TV and the couch going? That is the foundation of the move. The other stuff will fill in later.
And beds. Come on.
Well,
Like,
you know, whatever. We get up there, you know.
well,
'em up.
we were here like the week, but like the day we signed, it was of course empty. And we were trying to map out how the beds would go. And as soon as we figured out the bedroom, I could see you were just like,
Load off.
yeah.
Because I didn't think it
'cause-
was the bed was gonna fit. The rooms are very small.
Well, we had to do some adjustments with other furniture from the bedroom, like the nightstands. We have enormous nightstands that came with the bed set that we
Mhm.
bought, and we had to get new nightstands. And now our old ones are going to be the stand for the TV upstairs. And it was just stuff like that. And as soon as I came up with that, he was like, "Oh, the TV is going to be fine." Okay. Okay. That's a great idea. It's sturdy.
Thank
Nothing's
you.
gonna happen to the TV.
Uh-huh.
Like, oh yeah, you're right. Forget where we're gonna be having one of the most important things you need in life, sleep, but whatever.
Yeah. Whatever. Where's the TV go? Where's the other one go? That's what's important.
Which we still haven't set up. That's gonna be the thing that we do tonight. We couldn't find the right stand for that
Yeah.
TV. So,
We ordered the
but I
wrong
know
one.
as soon as that thing goes up, he's gonna be a very happy guy.
Oh, of course. Well, I haven't watched much up there anyway. Well, we couldn't, but I mean, I usually hang out down here when I get home, just because you're asleep or whatever.
It's
And
actually better anyway.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, but originally we came in and I said the couch got to go here, and we set up the couch
Oh,
and
yeah.
it was like it was bad looking. It was this weird layout. I was like,
Well, like you also have to take in, that's what I was saying initially, like you have to take in consideration there's this old weird heater thing dead center of the freaking biggest wall in the house, which I can't wait to cover that bad boy up. Seriously, I'm gonna build like this thing to cover it up. And I told him, I was like, if you put the couch there with that
Yeah.
thing jutting out about 6 inches, it's taking away. Anyway, we
Sure.
tried one way and I was like, it really needs to go by the staircase. Just trust
so,
me.
and then my thought was, well, there's no power outlet over here. And Sam was here. I said, we can't put it here underneath the stairs, and there's no power outlet. You know, it needs fuel for my
Fuel.
it needs fuel. It needs juice. We can't do it. And Sam's like, well, what if we just put a cord through this?
Oh,
There's a
God.
closet around the corner. I was like, we have to run a cord across that or under it. We just tape it down. And I view everything as this big obstacle, this big task. It's just one of my
Took him 10
worst
minutes
traits.
to help us line the wall with the cord.
Sam is way more handy than I am. And
It was nails and a hammer.
Yeah,
That's literally
well,
all it was.
those are my two. That's my
But
kryptonite.
it's
Kryptonite
funny
right
to
there.
me because like, well, I had the advantage. My dad's a contractor. And so he just showed me things since I was a kid because I was interested in it though, to be honest with you. Like, anyway.
But I have many battle scars from working with my
Well,
father.
and there's
He-
someone I used to work with too, like that showed me some stuff. So anyway, but yeah, I know you haven't had the most patient teaching.
No, my dad was my dad was great, but my dad is very calculated in everything he does. And when we were younger, it wasn't always Sam and I could tell stories for days about that. He did teach me a lot, and I just personally lost interest. I'm like, I don't need to know this or want to know this. But it's definitely has hurt me later in life because there are things I should be better at that I'm not. But anyway, we did move the TV safely.
Yeah.
We went from
long story longer.
One wall to the other, and the couch,
It looks much better.
perfect spot.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, and it fit perfectly in that little corner.
And
But-
and you guys have seen the podcast. I've recorded a few from that couch already, and I kind of like this setup a little better. The window's a little weird, but I think overall we got a nice little background here. Got my grandpa Leo's flag there from his service in World War II. Some great pictures of us,
Yeah.
Ram stuff.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's still going to be changes. Don't get me wrong. I can't leave well enough alone. But all the YouTube stuff I watch is like about how to improve things and how to make things yourself. Like the DIY stuff I'm totally into. And then there's this interior designer channel I watch. Her name is Lisa Holt. Not to plug her. I'm not like in contact with her or anything, but she's hilarious because she's got like this crazy good energy. And then she's brilliant though. So it's like everything that she says, I'm like, that makes complete sense. There's a couple things that she says I really don't agree with, but it's like, okay, I get that. Like this blind situation.
Yeah.
She would hate it. It's funny to me.
Yeah.
Like, but
Yeah.
no, well, you will see changes if he keeps recording in this angle. That will change a lot in the
Yeah.
coming months.
She keeps coming to me with ideas. I'm like, here's what I'm thinking down the road, and I'm trying to be like, okay, hey, like, no, you have some great ideas, but there's plenty of things too. I'm like, okay, I don't really care. Like, I do what you want as long as it's not pink or purple. I'm fine with it. You have
I
some
know.
great ideas, but I do.
To be fair, I do. I have
I'm just
good
not
ideas.
into the details, I think, and I know I need to be more.
Some of them aren't just details. Like I want to cover
Reactionary.
this whole wall in the, in like the eating area with that faux like contact paper, but it's textured. So it looks real, like brick. And I'm like, it's a 15-foot long wall. That's not a detail. That's a whole wall. Like, is it okay with you if I find the right situation for that? And he's like, I don't care. Stop asking. I'll give you $20 not to ask me another question. I don't care. I'm like, how do you not care? It's your house too. Like, so.
I'm very easygoing, I think.
eh.
As long as you don't cover the TV, I'm pretty much open for
Oh, I
anything.
should just to get his attention.
How dare you?
Oh,
You will
we'll
not.
see.
You will not do that. No, it's
It'd
oh,
be a
my-
funny prank though.
the worst prank ever. No, but you have some great ideas for shelving and to make this like very industrial.
Oh, the bar
looking.
area.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, and the
I found this old thing on OfferUp, and it's something I want to make into a cart that has wheels. Maybe we should post it sometime once we finish
Sure.
that area. And
Oh,
there's
yeah.
this a lot of really cool solutions that you find on like Pinterest and whatever. And there's shelves above like a bar cart, and it looks boss. It
Mm-hmm.
looks so cool. But like all the mixing stuff is on the shelves and all the glasses, and then you have like all the booze on the cart. It looks really cool.
it's a great setup.
Yeah.
I went to I think, and for the next few days, I felt like we were buying stuff nonstop, which I knew was going to happen. I was like, I don't care. We're not
could have
carrying right
slowed
now.
it down.
We
yeah.
could have, but it was like, let's just do it all right now. Buy everything before we think about it, before we look at the bill, the receipt, and we can cry about it later.
Oh, there
but-
were things we genuinely needed, like Brita filter on the faucet, and
The faucet,
Yeah.
like I said, the umbrella that
the
came.
umbrella.
We needed
Yeah.
a stand. I went to Costco and made a supply run, we'll say, and it's just
We had a ton of booze already.
should never
I
go.
don't know why.
I didn't only buy alcohol there. I bought
Majority.
two very nice kitchen appliances, and they
not
were
appliances
they-
or accessories.
whatever
but
you
yeah,
call them. They were great ideas.
They were.
You
they
gave
were
me
good.
kudos later.
They
At
were
first,
good
you're like,
ideas.
"Oh, we don't know if we need
No,
that."
the basket thing is cool because it holds all the produce,
Exactly.
and it's already
what that
full.
is.
It's completely full. I'm so glad he bought that because we were
Yeah.
running out of room in our little pantry. And then, which is not really a
Not
pantry.
really a
It's just like
pantry.
not really. It's like a
Like, who
closet.
built this place?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know the cabinet situation, and they're fugly too. So anyway, and then he bought this other little cart thing that we've put more bar stuff
On wheels, napkins, and things of that
It's
nature.
yeah, it holds stuff like stir sticks and whatever. But
Stir-
yeah,
there we go. Yeah,
which
absolutely.
we also need.
we do need. There's a bunch of little things we need.
Yeah,
Uh,
but I've big stuff,
that's why I like
big
the,
picture stuff first.
the marker board up in the kitchen,
Yeah.
so we can leave notes.
Yes.
I like that. Again, visual, very visual. But yes, those are my. I was very proud of those two, not just purchases, but seeing them and being like, this is good. We need this.
Yes.
This is something
We did actually need both of those, and I was a little against the little cart thing. And anyway, but then I was like, I found all kinds of stuff to put on there to get it off the counters in the kitchen. I'm like, oh, all right.
But
well,
then
well done.
this lovely young woman says those three magical words that every guy loves to hear. We don't
Really
hear it that
don't
often. We don't hear it that often. And when you say it,
You hear it more often than you should, honestly, because
that
you
is
just
true.
feel so validated.
And you guys know the three words I'm talking about. Those
it's
three
not
words.
I love you.
No. You were right. Oh, that
You
Ugh.
never say that to me
erroneous.
when
erroneous
I
on all
deserve
accounts.
those words.
Oh, I've told you plenty of times.
begrudgingly.
Both times you've been right. I've told you. I'm kidding.
begrudgingly hilarious. If it was two, he would be
I
upset
told you
about
you
it.
were right about the TV
Okay.
and moving and moving
And
the
the couch.
the couch around. What else did I mess up last week? I
didn't
told
mess
you.
You didn't mess up anything.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. That's what
I
we like to
did
keep
tell
it.
him that because I'm gonna do a whole thing to the cabinets too. I'm like, you're gonna help me clean those suckers and do
Whatever
a
you
couple
need.
other things to help with because
Whatever you need. Like I don't always see the things that need to be done. I
But
think
once I
most
do them,
most men
though,
out
yeah.
there probably don't. We don't always see things that need to be done. Like I see a sink full of dishes and I can be like, okay, that needs to be done. But I don't always see like, hey, you didn't clean under this counter thing. I'm like, if you tell me, I'll do it. But you can't expect me to have the vision that you have. That's all I'm saying.
But with decorating and stuff, I totally get that. But like there's literally been times where I'm just like, it's covered in like water spots and whatever. I asked him, I think it was like a faucet in a bathroom. I was like, can you just clean up the sink area? Just help me out.
My favorite
And-
thing to do is when you ask me like my opinion about something that I really don't care about, or like,
But I would think you would
what are your
care.
thoughts? You know, things I'm supposed to care about, whatever. You'll ask, I don't even know a question. Hey, what do you think if we hang, I don't know, hang these pictures over here? And I'm like, so instead of saying, I don't care, I started to say, well, Val, tell me, what are your thoughts on the Rams secondary defense?
You
the dime
started teasing
defense,
me really hard. Like
I'm going to ask you something you care absolutely nothing about. So give it back.
that's also something I'm not knowledgeable about because I don't care in the first place.
Yeah, there you go.
But how are you not knowledgeable or at least not caring at all about changes that are going to be made in your own home?
I'm fine with those changes. Absolutely.
all right.
I've said that. I just said, as far as my vision, my night vision, whatever you want to call it, I don't see what you see.
I feel like there's going to come a time where I do a big change like that and you're going to look at it and be like, what is this? And I'm going to be like, I try to
You give it-
I take absolutely no responsibility for this. I try to talk to you about this.
Listeners are putting together ideas of ways you could probably torture me with stuff
Oh,
like that.
I'm sure. Please, I'll give you my email. I'll have him post it.
But no, like, I mean, like flowers on the table. That's fine. I don't care. You like that. It brightens up the room or whatever. That's cool. The plants, I don't know anything about the plants or where you want them. I'm just
Oh
like,
yeah, I got a bunch of plants.
sure, that's fine. Plants, whatever.
Livens up the room.
As long as I can
Adds
put my
color.
little,
Well,
as long as I
yeah.
can put my little Rams football out and have my, little things that for me are a big deal. Football on the couch and decanters. That is an area. It's something I've always wanted, was to have the decanters, all of them, a ton of them with the labels on them, from whiskey, vodka, whatever.
Gin, yeah.
I think it looks classy. I think it's cool.
I think it looks great too. You just went a little purchase crazy with the
I
decanters.
did.
So my thing was I wanted like a collection of none of them the same. I wanted all these different decanters.
And pretty much.
And they're, yeah, except for like a couple. You
Mhm.
bought like a pair one time. And anyway, but my idea was because my mom found this one at a thrift store that was gorgeous. It looks like a gown somehow. I don't know. We'll show it sometime. But I was like, oh my God, that's great. And then we already had one that she, oh yeah, the Jack Daniels one she found.
That was cool.
And she, she cleaned it out, of course, for us and brought it over. But I was like, that would be a really cool, like, because I'm not much of a collector kind of. I don't like collecting, like, I don't know, because it gets too like tchotchke and cluttered when there's too much
Yes.
collectible stuff.
We don't
But
want that.
that's cool because it's functional too. Oh, and
I can do
I'm a big fan of something that is beautiful and functional at the same time. So I was like, how cool would that be if we
Just
had
like
like,
you, babe. Just
oh,
like you.
thank you. But I loved the idea of having all these different decanters, and then all of a sudden, we're both like, he's on my Amazon. It's
Our
just-
our babe.
Amazon.
Our
Excuse me. You're
Amazon.
right. You're right.
Oh, there it
And-
is.
Shush.
Oh, there it is.
Shush.
Aren't those words beautiful?
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Shouldn't see. I tell him too much. I
because
tell you too much.
why do you? Because it's true. Maybe.
Maybe
No?
because I love you and I care about you and I want you to
you
feel
wouldn't lie
like
to me
I don't lie to you.
much more, or much at all. I mean, right?
I don't really lie to you. Like,
We don't really lie. What does
I
that mean?
don't
Don't really.
like. There's maybe been. I usually fess up later. Like, okay,
Oh, that makes it okay.
it's usually little white lies. Like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna get up and do this and this, and I binge watch something all day. So usually, of course, my day off when I'm tired, I could go to the gym.
The only
but-
times I'm dishonest with you, and I think it is forgivable, is like surprise wise or like gift wise. Like I'll tell you something,
Oh, you mean? Oh, he threw me a surprise birthday party a couple years ago.
and so there were a few lies there, obviously, that we were going somewhere and
2
like
years ago.
we were
2
at
years.
Cassell. Yeah, 2
Yeah,
years
2
ago. We were at Cassell, and you do have Fowler has another birthday coming up here, September
Oh.
15th.
Which we were gonna go. Oh, I still haven't even told her. I have to tell her. We were gonna go to Nashville to see Shay again.
Oh, the champagne queen herself.
Oh,
She-
I love. That's one of the reasons I love hanging out with her. It's like we want to do is drink champagne, whiskey sometimes. But
I've never seen someone drink champagne. Like champagne for me is like, okay, it's at parties or you're celebrating something or whatever. But as far as like just an everyday drink, I told her that when she was on my podcast, and she's like, it's for days that end in Y, Matthew. I was like, okay.
Gotta love her.
Great wedding we were at, man. That we
Oh,
talked
it
about
was
it, but
so beautiful. It kind of reminded me. Well, the venue was really cool. They had all these different like themes going on like kind of a large property. Actually, the rest is for you, I guess.
no. We got one
We
more
have plenty. Okay.
half glass each in there.
Um,
Drink
And it
up.
was cool because there was a chapel on the property. There was also this cool like retro 50s looking
Oh, that
little
chapel.
scene kind of thing.
That was tiny. It was a tiny little
so
church. Oh, that was so
pretty,
cool.
but it was so hot in there because there was like no windows and there was no air conditioning. I mean, there were stained glass windows, but they didn't open. And so anyway, it was like they should have just done it outside if they wanted to stay cool. We were all sweating in there in our gowns. I still have that gown. She gave it to me. Anyway, it doesn't
Very
matter.
cool.
It's beautiful.
Anyway, what were we saying about?
I don't remember.
Yeah. So we go off the deep end there. Champagne.
Oh
we
yeah,
went
no,
to
I want
Shay.
we want to go see her.
So, yeah,
but
for
that's
Val's-
gonna have to be delayed because we were
Yeah.
gonna go out there for my birthday essentially because you already have your vacation days scheduled
Vacation coming up. Can't wait.
and we can't. We had to pay 2 rents and I'm like, I can't swing
No,
it.
I
Like,
don't- I think it's
yeah,
better.
dang it. Like
We're
I
gonna
would-
do a staycation of some kind. We'll go somewhere locally.
yeah,
I'd
I'd love to go to San Diego or something, but that's pretty
could be
far.
cool.
Yeah.
that could be cool. No, we're gonna celebrate not just well, heck, it's gonna almost be a year for me at FedEx, and then your
Mm.
birthday, my vacation. That I've never had a. You know what? I've never had a paid vacation. It's pretty cool. All these
Yeah.
little things as an adult you start to. Everyone's
I
like,
never did either because I always worked restaurant jobs and no, I take that back. My first job was at Olive Garden and we actually did get
Did you really?
yeah.
Wow.
It was like half pay though. It was still something, but it was like half pay. Yeah.
Anytime you make any money doing nothing, although that's a crisis in the country. We won't get into all that, but
No, let's not.
we were we were all getting paid to stay at home for a while, and quite honestly, I mean, I don't know how you felt. I mean, that got boring real fast.
Oh, yeah.
you know, and it's like you don't feel productive by any means.
No.
You're sitting there having money sent to you and
Which was nice. It was good to have a break,
get you by,
but it really did make you miss certain things about work. I do think that there's going to be a definite, if there hasn't been already, there's going to be a definite switch of like focusing more on quality of life as opposed to working all the time. But that is one good thing about it. I know there's a lot of people who are just, kind of, I won't say leeching off of unemployment, but for some people it's been very helpful. And I think a lot of people are grateful and they've actually been able to get themselves to a better situation. And so they're looking for better jobs. So
yeah,
I
you're not
think-
settling for something.
and I think that's probably going to hurt stuff like the restaurant industry,
Mhm.
like fast food, all that stuff. Cause I mean, let's be honest, those aren't great jobs.
Those
Their
are
customer
jobs-
service jobs are tough. Like
Oh yeah.
I worked customer service almost my entire working career. And there are days where you hate working, like hate it.
But that's where like some of these, like the minimum wage jobs, the fast food, like those are jobs that are for, I mean, a lot of different people working, but they are, if you really think about it, they're for young people. Your first job as a high school student or even after high school. I mean, my first job was as a janitor emptying trash cans. I made $9, not an hour, $9 each time I went and did the task. And so I do that 3 days a week. So what was that? $27 at the end of the week. But it didn't take very long. It took like 30 minutes maybe. But that was my first job. What was your
Right.
first job?
Olive Garden.
It was.
No. So that's the thing. Like I've always been like a gig worker, or at least a side job kind of thing. I did a lot of gigs in high school, probably before I was ready to even play my pipes.
Oh, you played the bagpipes?
I played at a wedding one time with a buddy of mine, and he could only stay for the ceremony, and they wanted someone there for the reception too. And I think I played maybe 6 songs. That's all I knew at the time. And, I wasn't a very seasoned piper, so I crapped out really quick. I was like, I gotta go. I got nothing else for you guys. I'm really sorry. So, I mean, I had stuff like that, but it wasn't like once or twice a week or anything like that. So, I don't know. I was a babysitter for a while, and then I don't know. But yeah, my first official like paycheck job was Olive Garden.
Nice.
But I mean, it was mostly tips.
What's funny when you get that first job, when you get a paycheck with your name on it, and when you come from not ever making any money. Now in high school, I refereed games and stuff, but again, those were like $6. The first time you see your name on a paycheck,
Yeah.
with money next
Yeah.
to it, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You're like, wow, adults do this like all the time and at much higher paychecks and everything. So it can get kind of addicting in that regard. Like, hey, the more I work, the more money there is. What a concept. And
Yeah.
so as a kid, you don't know how to spend money wisely. So you just want to make it and then
I could
spend it.
if I could go back in time 15 years, I'd slap myself in the face and then kick myself in the butt. Like really figure it out, save up, like pay off your car early. Stupid.
You realize like
Yeah.
saving. So when we were 18 and to where we are, so for me, that's 18 years. You know how much money would be saved if I had saved $5 a day and put it in a savings account or something.
Right.
18.
It's 100 a month. That's essentially, if it's 4 weeks, it's 100 a month.
Okay. So 100 a month. That's fair. 100 bucks a
If
month.
it's just the 5 days a week.
So
Yeah.
12 months, it's $1,200.
Yeah.
1,200 times 18 years.
And if it's in a savings account, it's accruing interest. So
little things like that, it's like, why didn't you do that when you were younger?
because we just thought we knew what we were doing and we were wrong. So
I don't
also, I think not to put my parents down with this, but I think I got that advice a little late.
Okay.
So if they had taught me growing up, and I was always like, if I didn't have money in my hand, it wasn't my money.
Yes.
When I was a kid.
Yes.
That's how I felt about it, because they actually started an account for me when I was little. Someone gave me $20 at Christmas. And I was like, oh my God, I was like literally sitting there thinking, how am I going to spend this? Like I planned it out. I'm 6 years old. I'm like trying to plan out how to spend the money. And they started an account for me because $20 back then was like $50 now.
Oh yeah.
and which fudge, God, that was 28 years ago. And they take me to the bank and we deposit my money. And I'm like, okay, when do I get it back? Oh my gosh, I can't believe I remember this. And they're like, no, we're walking out of the bank. And I think I get in the car and I start bawling. I don't think I've ever told you the story. I start bawling and my parents are like, what's going on? And they just didn't explain it to me in a way that I needed to hear. They told me, but I really thought it was still going to be your money. They're like, no, it's still your money. You just can't have it right now. In the car, they're telling me this. And I just didn't put two and two together because you're a kid. Like you think it's your, you get to spend it. Like, no, it's in a savings account. You get to spend it later once the kid, you're trying to explain the whole concept to me. And I think that I was maybe too young. And my dad literally takes a 20 out of his wallet just to let me hold it. Like, and then he had to give it back and I started crying again.
Wow.
I just didn't get it. And so, young, dumb, and broke. And when you become 18 and you just still don't get it a little bit.
I'm rich now. I got,
I like the Joe Coy thing.
Oh, the Joe Coy ones. I'm working at Wendy's. I'm rich now. It's like, because you got consistent money. I mean,
but you spend it like a dummy.
If you're making $200 a week out of high school, that's $200 more than you've ever seen. And you're just like, oh, this is great, man. Because you don't have any bills, too many bills anyway.
Right.
And so that money is gold, literally.
You know how, yeah, absolutely. Remember, I forget which sports documentary it was that you were watching, and I was just kind of chilling with you.
You got my attention. What's up?
One NFL guy, I think it was, originally was like let go from the team after 5 years, maybe more. And he was just broke after he left. Yeah. And everyone was just like, what the heck happened? Like, how are you broke now? And it's because, and then I think it was like a professor or someone from the college that he went to was saying, a lot of these guys, some of these guys come from backgrounds where they literally didn't have any money at all.
Total poverty.
Yes.
And you go from poverty to multi-million dollars overnight.
And then, so what did he say? They were financially illiterate.
Yes.
And it's like, I completely get that because they don't teach that in schools anymore. And my parents told me that they did teach that when they were kids. And I was just like, why don't they teach that?
They used to teach a lot of things
in school.
That they stopped, and they probably should.
It's insane. Like, and so, I mean, I wasn't, wealthy by any means when I was working as a young 18-year-old kid, but I like had money that I should have been way smarter with,
all of us.
And then I think as soon as he said those words, financially illiterate, and I'm like, that applies to a lot of people. Yes. That's not just these athletes. That applies to a lot of people. So I do think that that's like something that I, even as I grow older, because like one of the things that I want to do eventually is us buy properties that we can rent out. If we ever get to that point, I would love that. And then it's passive income ish, because you still have to check up on stuff.
I love having your steady income and then extra income as far as
a
gig or a side hustle, whatever. I think that's important, especially being here in California. You really don't have a choice.
No.
So it's always good to have that. Some people it's property, some people it's selling little individual items. I know a few friends that have side businesses and they do very well for themselves because it adds up over time. Every little bit helps.
Absolutely. Especially if you don't touch it.
Yes.
If you can afford to do that, not touch it. Like,
well, you'd be amazed. I did the math on that, by the way. 18 years, $5 a day, $100 a week. Is that what we said? $100 a week?
A month,
excuse me. $100. If you, just $100 a month in 18 years, you would have made $21,000, over $21,000.
Oh, that's
crazy.
That's
Isn't
that's heartbreaking.
Think of all that money. I mean, $5.
Why haven't time machines been invented yet? Because I'd go back tomorrow. I would have a plan laid. I would stay up all night laying out a plan. And then just jump in that time machine and go right over.
Well, let's go in the time machine. Let's go back in time. Like what I did there. We'll go back in time to last night, Saturday night. We were at we'll get back to moving and stuff later, but we got to
I think we exhausted that.
Yeah, we got to experience the retirement party for Ken Drain, longtime coach at Rio Hondo Prep. I've taken you to a football game there before,
right?
Where it's just you and I sitting and watching a playoff game a few years ago, but this was the first time get to interact with people. What's funny is
Oh yeah.
how famous you were, Val, because people watched the podcast, listen
They
or
listen
whatever.
to it, yeah.
And everyone was like, this is Valerie. You know, a lot of people that I've known over the years, and you've always asked me, how do you know all these people, all the guests I've had and everything? And I just know a lot of people from that previous life of mine that you never really walk away from. You're still a part of. So what were some of your initial thoughts on the little evening we had at down at Care Park in Irwindale for the Rio Hondo Prep Care Youth League alumni we met?
I thought that was very cool. I was very happy for the coach that he got to see so many people come and well, he had a few speakers that from like your friend Todd's been on. Have you had Pete on yet?
Pete, we're working on him.
Oh, okay.
He was hilarious at having the heart attack 2 years ago or 2 months ago. And it's like you can't even tell that guy had a heart attack.
If he had told me, if I didn't know the whole story, if he had come up to me and told me that he had had a heart attack some months ago, I'd be like, you're lying.
He's joking and just,
he's a totally fit guy. And you're
Yeah.
just like, you had a heart attack. But that happens a lot though. That does happen a lot. Completely
not just
fit
his
people.
appearance, but like his energy. The
Yeah,
guy had
that
great
too.
energy, was
Yeah.
joking and had a great speech and just it was great seeing him. His on the video tribute, he said, "Hey, Mr. Drain, I'm back from the grave." Like he's joking about it and stuff.
That's
Like,
pretty
dude,
funny.
you almost died, and he's just like, "Yeah, whatever." I'm like, "Yeah, he was amazing."
Happy guy.
Oh,
Very
man.
happy. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can tell that kind of gave him a little like, okay. He seemed like that was the kind of guy he was before anyway. Like he was just got to see his life.
Was trying to keep. I mean, I was seeing people that I hadn't seen in a while, and you know, trying to. Oh yeah, this is Val, and a lot of people came up to it's like, yeah, my favorite episodes are when you're on, Val. You and Matt talking is pretty.
Oh,
funny.
they were just being so sweet.
Yeah,
I don't know if that was. I'm calling anyone a liar, but I'm like that. It's a very nice thing to say as someone you just met. It was a very nice thing. And then no, it was cool. I could tell because I think you've explained Rio Hondo before to me and like the whole thing. And then we've run into people from time to time that went there. Like remember we were having sushi one time. You turn to me and you're like, he just goes like this. He goes, "Watch this." And then there's like a whole family sitting next to him that he knew. And
the Peach family, Graham Peach was sitting next to me.
Yeah.
And I was like,
and it had been
"Hey,
a
man."
long time since you all had seen each other. It took them a minute to recognize you.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh my gosh, Matt!" Like, and then they're like, they meet me, and it's funny to me because like you've told me so many times how shy you've been with girls and women over the years, and so it's just like it's not hilarious to them, but they're like, "Oh my god, finally!"
That is the reaction you pretty much get, I think.
We've been together 5 years, and I told some of the people that last night, and they were like, not shocked, but they're like, 5 years, wow, okay, because I think that. They think that you just met me like a couple years ago.
Yeah.
We've actually known each other kind of a while.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I generally keep my private life to myself, but you know, doing a podcast and everything, and then social media, of course. We have not really put our relationship out there that much like some people do. But I
don't feel the need to.
No, I appreciate that. I think that's it's sincere and means more to me, I think. And so but yeah,
we're not phone people either. Let's be honest. We're not social media phone people. Like we do it, especially for a podcast. Mine's kind of dormant right now, but when I was doing my podcast, I was putting out stuff out every week, but it's not something I'm really attracted to as a person. I'd rather read a book
social media is like this. It's like a sweet poison, maybe like at times you get caught up in it and, you know, you reaching for your phone to do stupid tasks like, oh, I have downtime, let me grab my phone and check Facebook or whatever, and you're like, why am I doing this? Like
it literally wears me out. Like I look at it and I'm like mentally tired. I'm like, why are we on this all the time?
Or you get so busy, you get so caught up in posting about something.
It's detailed. You have to do a lot.
But then you miss out on experiencing it because you're so caught up in posting about it. And it's like you got your head down in your phone and it's like, look up, enjoy, experience what you're doing, you know? So yeah, absolutely. I mean, but I do think a lot of people, and you've got that a lot from people. It's, oh, you are real, you know?
Oh yeah.
Because it's true. I think most people know me who knew me. They're kind of like, oh, so you're the girl Matt ended up with, you know, or something along those lines. It's pretty funny.
It is funny. Well, I remember your friend Jacob Hauser, who I worked with
Oh,
for a bit.
Yeah.
He, when he first met me, or you first told him about me, he goes, "Oh, how old is she?" Because you had to type for a while.
Let's make sure we, because that could go either direction. So be careful. with that.
Oh, no,
That
no,
sounds
no.
awful. It sounds awful. Yes, I did. I was dating some
Completely
older women.
not the bad way, the good way. Um,
Oh, goodness.
like older women, not definitely not younger
Not
women.
like super old, just older than me.
I didn't mean it like that. Middle aged.
Middle age. What are you talking about? Wow.
I think above, yeah, I would say 45 and older is
Whoa,
probably,
whoa, that's not true.
or 50 and older.
No, go lower, not higher. Can we stop talking
I
about
thought
me?
you were upset that I said something about 40-year-old women.
Oh,
I didn't
boy.
mean that.
Well,
No,
you know,
but
actually,
from what I knew, Matt liked people that were at least a decade older.
that is not true. What is this rumor mill getting started?
That's not a rumor.
You're
It's
the
literally
worst.
people that have told me.
A decade older.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Oh, you're
I'm just a mature guy. I don't know. I'm not that. What's that? Oh, I'm bright red. I know, but it's the
I love
champagne.
giving him stuff about that because like I've dated some winners.
Oof.
Nah, not really.
Haven't
at
we all?
At all. I was very sarcastic when I said that.
That's my. I tell you this too. I tell you all the time. Thank you so much for. How do I phrase it? Thank you so much for, so that I don't have to date anymore. Like going on dates with you is
It's
fun.
an enormous relief.
But
I
dating is
never liked
awful.
dating.
Oh.
I've never liked dating. And then my former roommate from before we were even together, old coworker of mine, Bo, she was telling me about some of these dating apps and stuff when first smartphones were first a big thing. Oh gosh, how long ago? Oh my God, this was like 2012, 2013.
Wow, we're
It was
getting old.
so long ago. It was right when, touch tone or touch phones were actually here.
Swipe right, swipe left.
Yeah,
I hear ya.
and I
Tinder.
I went on a few dates on those freaking sites and I was like, never again. I took them all off my phone. I actually only had two, actually. I never got into it like that. But Tinder, I never even tried. I was just like, no, to hell with that. Like, there's no way at all I'm doing that. Like,
Yeah.
because some people go on there and they're serial daters and they're just, trying to get laid. Let's be honest. They're just trying
Yeah,
to get laid.
looking
There's no,
for
hopefully there's
action.
no kids listening to this, but it's like,
Whatever.
everyone's just trying to get laid. And it's like, I can't do that. And then it was either do something like that or go on match.com. And I don't like that. I like the old fashioned way of meeting people because you can say and post anything you like when you're on those sites to make yourself look good. It's like, no, sit down and have a conversation with me over a drink. Fine. I don't prefer that. I prefer something like maybe a coffee or whatever. I tried that for a while and that was weird.
First dates are odd. I'm glad we had it. I think
They're
you got to
very
have a
weird.
meal.
We were different though. Our first date was different because we already knew each other, not super well, but we knew each other and we knew our friends. And I think that's everything. When you meet someone through friends, because
It's a mutual connection.
and there's more stuff to talk about, at least initially.
Yeah.
And you kind of get to know each other better that way because you're like the kind of people you keep around you. That's everything.
Mhm.
That's truly I mean, sorry, Bill, but if you Bill,
Barnes. Oh yeah, Billy Bonds.
if I judged you based solely on your relationship with Barnes, we wouldn't have started dating. I love you, Bill, but but I knew Bill, and then getting to know you, and you're in a lot of ways you have a lot of opposite traits from Bill. Bill's a very good man, he's a very good guy, but when it comes to dating, I don't know.
He's doing okay right now.
If you're in any way like Bill,
He's doing fine.
Donna, I love her.
She's great.
But if you're in any way like Bill with that, we wouldn't be here.
No. I didn't. I honestly did not date a whole lot. I mean,
I didn't either though.
couple ex-girlfriends, a few. Let's put it this way: if I did go on dates, there weren't a lot of second dates. So it's just like I hated that whole
Same.
concept. People were like, "Why were you always angry all the time?" I was like, I don't like the idea of something working out and hitting it off. It's so rare. I almost didn't even like trying. I'm like, what's the point of all this? So it wasn't that I
hard.
hated females or anything. Some people accuse me of that, which is hilarious.
Oh, that's kind of mean. I just thought of something actually. Something just hit me. So I've been set up with people 3 times. First time was my ex, who,
Yeah.
my best friend set me up with him and really didn't work out. We had a relationship for about 3 or 4 years and stuff just did not go well in the end, did not end well. I was set up with this other guy from a coworker. Remember Ron? He set me up with one of his buddies.
Oh.
And that was right before you and I started dating.
Mhm.
And then third time's a charm because I set up with you.
Yeah,
So yeah, I
absolutely.
just realized that right now. I'm like, oh my gosh, I've been set up 3 times and the third time actually worked.
That's right. That's right, fellas. You hear that? No, and I remember because I asked you out, and which was terrifying to ask a girl. Some guys are like, it's no big deal. It literally.
It's just talk to people, Matt.
Oh, that is terrifying. It's hilarious now that I have a podcast, but like even last night,
But you're talking to people you know already, mostly.
well, to somebody, but like sometimes some people are funny. They're like, yeah, talking and then knowing other people are going to hear it, like that bothers them. And I'm like, I don't care if other people hear what I have to say. It's
No,
as long
me
as they're
either.
not sitting there looking at me at the time, like having eyes on me is like the
Oh.
worst thing in the world. Anyway, but back to talking to girls.
I'm not like that at all.
No,
I
no,
don't
no.
care.
You soak it up. You're very good at it. But like to ask a girl out, it took me so much courage. I could not. I was shaking. It was like, and I know the worst case scenarios they say no, but still, I hate, again, back to my personality. I hated losing more than I liked winning.
I know.
And so if you take that kind of concept, that's how I felt in the dating world. I was like, it's not worth the victories. The losses aren't worth the victories to me. At least that's how I felt. Sad, I know.
What is that one quote? And it's about what's viewed as failure. It's like you have to fail like 100 times. Oh, it's Edison. I'm not a fan of his, but like,
He gave us power.
no, Tesla gave us power. Edison took it from him.
Oh, here we
That's
go.
all. No, it's a whole thing. Look it up. It's a whole thing. Tesla was the one who came up with the light bulb, and Edison stole it from him.
Wow. Okay.
Anyway, it's about failure, and they're the most worthy. Oh gosh, I'm gonna massacre this quote. It's something like you have to fail to really succeed, or it's
No, that's
failures
true.
aren't failures, they're just stepping stones. Something like
Yeah,
I'm
something
totally
along those lines.
murdering this
No, I get
freaking
you.
quote, but like,
You have to fail
you do have to
learn
fail.
to succeed.
You
kind
do
of thing.
have to like, if you succeed the first time, A, you won't appreciate it as much as if you failed before you got there,
Sure.
and B, like you won't learn.
Mhm.
And honestly, knowledge is power. They say that's completely true, but learning helps you grow as a person. Failing helps you grow as a
Oh
person.
yeah, and you learn a lot more when you fail. That's obviously how
Absolutely
you learn,
you do. And
anyway.
you can, I mean, a lot of the times when you succeed, it's a process of elimination. This didn't work, this didn't work, this didn't work, but this did. So
much like the podcast with the sound and the audio and just all these, yeah,
yeah,
piecing it. Oh man, why didn't this work? And you fix it, hopefully.
it's failure. I feel like there are people, maybe including you, who look at failure as the worst thing in the world, or rejection, or whatever it may be. And it's like, honestly, there are so many successful, famous, amazing people now
Yeah.
who were rejected or failed before they got to where they got. Vera Wang didn't actually start her fashion industry until she was 40.
Yeah, in the 40s.
Like
That's right.
stuff like that. Morgan Freeman did not become an actor until I think he was like 50 something.
That old?
Yeah,
Sure.
you'll never see him. Well, maybe in his 40s. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't know. It's
but
50, but yeah, pretty
I don't
late.
remember. But like, there's a lot of people like that. It took them. Maybe they're late bloomers. Maybe they needed to go through all their failures first and their mistakes, and then they finally made it. Look at RDJ, Robert Downey Jr.
RDJ. I've never heard him
Everyone, a lot of people call him that.
referenced that way.
Look at Robert Downey Jr. Like king of the Marvel franchise right now, as one of the actors anyway. And he failed so many times from, well, we all know, drugs and alcohol abuse and
I get
whatever.
you.
Not to say that that's, something everyone needs to go through before they become successful, but like, he's doing great now. He has
Yeah.
llamas and alpacas in his backyard with
His
his wife.
recovery
Like,
is something.
oh man. So to me, failure is not the obstacle that a lot of people think it is. I think failure is a stepping stone.
Sure. but that all said, women are intimidating. They always have been.
Well, I can't cure you of that. I've tried. You've actually, I do feel like you talk to more women now, like more confidently, and I'm glad. Obviously not
Probably.
like that way, but I feel like you're more comfortable talking to women, and I think that's wonderful. Like
I
you
can
should
talk,
be.
I can talk to
You should be. Like
women. I mean,
you're why wouldn't you? Like
but the whole
you're
concept of like romantic pursuit or whatever you want to call it,
oh,
like
it's
that's
awkward
diff-
anyway though.
yeah, I can talk to
It's-
human beings, like that's fine. But when it goes, hey, go ask that person out, it's like, what? Why would you, why? No, I'm not doing that. Even in eighth, I mean, first time I asked a girl out was at an inaugural in eighth grade. I think I've told you the story, and we all had to ask. It was at the San Francisco Smithsonian or something. We were there, and we started asking girls to this inaugural, this basically this formal where we got to go as junior high kids as we were going into high school at Rio. And I remember everyone made fun of me because I'd start to go up to her and then back away. And then I think she caught wind of it and her friends did. So because she was in a pack of friends, like it started to be less and less friends because I was probably not very
they probably caught on what was going on.
they could see
man.
what I was
Like,
doing.
yeah.
And I start to
That's
approach
hilarious.
and then veer off, and everyone was like, yeah. This is Matt asking a girl out. You can ask Renzo or Jordan or Devin, who you met these guys
I'm
last
very
night.
certain you've told me this
Oh my
story
goodness, it
before.
was
That's
bad. So
hilarious.
she
to me.
finally is off by herself, sitting at I don't know, on a computer or something. And I was like, okay, this is it. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. That's why I went in there. We go to the inaugural with me, and she's like, gave me the nod and the yes. Says, okay, thank. And then like walked away. It was the worst. But walking away was like, that felt good. She said yes. She said yes. Cool.
You do realize that you could have been like, hey, can I chat with you for a second and just gone off somewhere else?
Are you crazy? What? You know 36-year-old Matt Hirschman. You think a 14-year-old Matt,
I
13-year-old
would
Matt
love
Hirschman?
to have watched that from afar. I've been a fly on the
Oh,
wall.
I was a mess.
Oh my
I thought like
God.
parting my hair down the middle was cool, and it was like nowhere near
Down the middle.
Yeah, it was bad. It was like down the middle, and then like I tried
Wait,
to.
did you do like the was it
No,
like
I didn't quite have the hair, as I don't have hair now, but
the
like
Casper hair?
it didn't like look. I tried to like slick it back and go down there. It was so bad.
That's pretty bad.
I was like, Mom, you let me walk out of the house this way. I was a mess. I
You
still
would
am.
you have listened to her if she had stopped you?
Maybe,
Really?
maybe.
Oh, that's funny.
But yeah,
There are times where I want to like confront my parents about the way they let me dress when I was 14. Like
they probably
really.
look in the future and they're like, this will be funny later. Yeah, go ahead.
No,
Go
they're
ahead, leave the
freaking
house that way.
awkward. Those awkward photo albums. You know those compilations that they do on the internet, the awkward photos. I
Yeah.
would win so many contests. Oh my God, with the braces. I got braces the summer before I started high school,
Oh,
and they didn't come off until right before the end of my junior year. So my senior year, I had no braces, but 3 years of high school, I had them.
I've seen photos of you. I've been into you. I've
God.
been into you.
Oh, you like the metal mouth?
Well,
You
I
never had.
guess.
I can't believe you've never had braces.
Braces, come on. Now.
God. Oh.
I don't know if I
apparently
would have talked to you, but you would have probably had to do the talking. But you're very
Yeah, I'm
outgoing.
pretty extroverted for the most part.
oh.
I have my introverted moments, but talking to people, yeah, not really shy.
But last night, I mean, you clearly got a taste of why me and some of my peers are how we are, and kind of the upbringing, the background of service to others is a big topic, and just the things we got from Coach Drain. I haven't played for him in forever, but all of us were just so grateful for him for kind of shaping us at a very young age.
I think it really says a lot about the guy, because there were some guys who got up and talked about how they didn't have a father figure, or they didn't have a dad at all.
Yeah.
And he really made them feel like he was partly their dad. And I'm like, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Because there are so many kids who don't have both parents, and having an influence like that. And I feel like coaches know, hopefully, when they accept a position like that, that's a huge responsibility, because it's not just about getting them to play well. It's about bringing out a part of the kids that they believe is part of the best of themselves, and validating their feelings and their capabilities. That's a very tough job, and you have to have the right person for it. And he sounds like he was the perfect person for that position, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
It's so good
Touch
to
a lot
hear.
of lives. Absolutely.
Yeah, teachers, and I've had some music teachers that had so much more impact on me than my other teachers. I've had her on my podcast, Martha Hall. I
Oh,
will
yeah.
never forget that woman ever. I mean, she's only what, like 10 years older than me, but like I always look up to that woman and respect. She's hilarious too. That's the funniest part. Like she, I think you saw, she like gave me, she saw me perform when I was with the Angry
Oh,
Bryans.
yeah.
And she came up to me and was like congratulating me, but she teased me at the same time. And I'm like, God, I miss
Hey,
you.
you were the little high school girl I used to teach. Now you're up there shaking and everything. It was hilarious.
Well, and there was this one song that there was always like this little routine where I did like a little, what do you call it?
One of my favorite performances.
What was that calling? Not a belly dancing
Oh,
routine, but a
little hip
little of
dance.
that mixed in. And I knew we were playing that song in that set. And I saw Martha sit down in the audience. I'm like, oh God, she's known me since I was like 15. I'm like, anyway, but oops. But coaches are in a very unique position. Or very unique is not correct, but anyway, coaches are in a unique position, and so are teachers who teach something like music, because it's sports and music are extracurriculars, and they're based almost solely on the individual interests of these kids.
Mhm.
You know, like not that many kids want to be in sports, not that many kids want to be in music, you know, or it's usually one or the other, or it's neither. So it's like when you get those kids in there and you know that they've come from maybe a troubled background, that is a very tough job to make those kids feel like that they are important and they are included and they're doing something really good for themselves. Oops, sorry. But it's like, I thought it was wonderful that so many people showed for
Yeah.
that after all his time being a coach, and that he had some speakers up there that you could tell really loved him
Mhm.
and what he had done for them when they were at an impressionable age.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Todd, I didn't realize that Todd was a troublemaker when he was younger.
Oh yeah, he was bad. Apparently, I don't know for a fact, but
He didn't get into it
all the
like
things I've heard.
specifics, but he was very vague about it, which is probably
Yeah.
wise, because it wasn't. So it's about the coach that, you know. So it was really good hearing stuff like that, and even Pete, you know, like he said stuff like that. And who's the other speaker?
Andy Chang.
Andy, couldn't remember his name, but I hadn't met him yet.
No, he
so-
was entertaining. You met his wife Lauren later, Jordan, and of course
Jordan's
we know
sister.
Jordan. Yeah. So
mhm.
Andy's
Yeah.
Jordan's brother-in-law. But yeah, a lot of it's crazy to see everyone kind of grow. I remember when I was a kid, even in high school, looking around and seeing people grow up and, you know, married and have kids and all these. It's like, oh man, it seems so far away. And then to now look around, and see all my peers kind of from the past, everyone's grown up, and it's like you look in the mirror yourself and you're like, wow, I'm grown up whether I like it or not. And
Yeah.
you know, it's
Yeah. And you look back and you truly appreciate, because it's not just your parents. Like everyone, well, not everyone, but a lot of people think that it really depends on how your parents were with you. And that's not necessarily the case. It's not just your parents.
No.
It as always, it takes a village.
yeah.
But I honestly think that we take that for granted
Oh
here.
yeah, and I'm incredibly grateful for my time at Rio because there were a lot of people that made impact, you know, big impact on me, whether I knew it or not. And a lot of people, it wasn't even the leaders above me; it was peers. And doing this podcast has been great because I've been able to talk with people that some of them I've never talked to in the past,
Really.
but we went to the same school, to the same organization, and you just start talking with them and you almost feel like classmates or teammates, even though I've never talked with some of these people before. So it's been a blessing doing this podcast. And I was shocked. Everyone that came up to us brought up the podcast. Oh, Get Up Safe podcast, man. We love listening.
That's how they recognize me for sure.
Yeah. Oh, Val, we love
yeah.
your episodes. You being on there. Those are my favorite ones. Seeing Matt with a girlfriend. It's hilarious.
Oh, Ginger was funny. Yeah.
Ginger, yeah.
Yeah.
Deemers, Lunny, formerly Lunny, telling some great stories about her old man, Gary Lenny, rest in peace. Yeah, you met everybody.
Yeah.
Showed you
almost.
the Todd's brother Mark. We went to the school and checked out
Carbon copy of his brother.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
the weight room. We
I
saw
totally knew that was Todd's brother by looking at him. I didn't even meet him yet officially, and I was like, "That's Todd's brother, huh?" Like,
No doubt
Anyway.
about it. Yeah, I'm trying to remember if anyone asked us some questions, or I don't think anybody did, because I did get some feedback from our previous episode what was that? 2 weeks ago.
Oh, they put in questions?
No, no one did questions, but they were like, I like the subject matter you guys were talking about. We actually had a really good podcast. We
I need
just
to listen to it again because I don't remember everything we talked
the
about.
audio is just so bad. We
I
started talking
know.
about men and women type. It was a good discussion.
It was.
But
It's always fun doing this with you.
Okay,
I need to have you on mine again just to catch up and like,
bring everybody back.
yeah.
You and Todd. Oh, never mind. Oh yeah, Todd and I were on. When was he on? Anyway, I guess it doesn't matter. But Val, how long have we been going here? We got more in the tank. Let me see.
I don't know. I don't even know
Where
what
we
you had
going?
outlined for our topics.
I really didn't
other
have
than
any.
moving and last night. That's all.
Well, last night was cool. It was great seeing everybody. We had Jordan, Javier Perez, and Landon. We all kind of met up after they came here, and we kept kind of chatting this about
That
the
was
good old
nice.
days. That was fun.
We're big guest people.
Yeah,
we love
of
having
course.
people
Well,
over.
I like home
Yeah.
games. I mean, if nothing else, home games are fun because you don't have to. You got to clean up a little bit, but who cares?
Who
Like,
cares? Honestly. Yeah.
it's fun having people over.
yeah.
And if people want us to come over, by all means, I like that too.
Oh
We
yeah.
just don't really get the invite as much as we are willing to be like, hey, come over. It'd be good to
It's-
see you.
I feel like right now it's hard to judge that.
Sure,
Everyone's
sure,
trying
yeah.
to still be safe about everything and whatever. But
No, absolutely. No, we really didn't have an outline. Just wanted to do another episode to kind of fill everyone in on our move,
yeah.
kind of a before and after. But here we are, home sweet home, and we don't get many days off together. Usually just Sunday,
Thursday evenings.
Thursday evening, and that's brief. Time goes quick, but we don't. We told ourselves we're not going to do a whole lot as far as because there's still stuff to put away,
Oh, there's so much stuff.
pictures to hang. You
As
have,
anyone who moves or has moved knows.
you have an idea
Yeah.
every few minutes, of course, too. and
I
it's just
literally I
like-
need to carry a notebook with me specifically for how I want to do things.
no, it's been cool. Like I told you multiple times when you, especially moving here, whenever you move somewhere, it feels almost like a vacation. Like, okay, we're here for a few days, but now that it's been 2 weeks, it's like, no, we actually live here. Like this is home.
Yeah.
This is not a temporary thing. This
Right.
is, and we're still organizing how we like the kitchen, what we want to do here and there. And it's a work in progress, but the big stuff is done.
Yeah, for the most part. There's some cosmetic things that I really want to just if I had $1 million, they'd be done. They'd be done
Yeah, we had to
already.
slow down the spending, definitely. We're like,
Oh my god.
rent's
That
due.
was killing me. I
Yeah.
was like, oh, I just want to buy everything.
I do too. I was bad. Amazon
Ugh.
found out where our place was.
I have a love-hate relationship with Amazon.
Oh, me too. No,
Oh my
absolutely.
god. Well, not just because they have so much great stuff, but it's like, dude, Amazon, you're ruining so
So
much
mom and pop,
stuff.
yeah, a
Yeah,
lot of it.
like screw you.
No, it's true.
but why do you have all the stuff I need?
But yeah, exactly. What do I want? Oh, I bet Amazon.
Ah.
They have a.
Ugh, just die already.
I've looked up some random stuff on Amazon. I mean,
That you can't find anywhere,
it's like,
right?
I need a boxing patch for my Halloween costume, and I've like looked up. Oh, sure enough, they got one. It's it's so
started
crazy.
selling books. That's how they got
That's the crazy
started.
part. Books. I
And then
know.
I don't even know like the progression of how I forget what they branched out to next. It was maybe computer stuff. I don't remember. But all of a sudden I'm like, just die. Just
Yeah, I
die.
know.
He
Uh,
freaking
But it's
took
addicting because this can be here tomorrow. Absolutely, boom. But anyway, hey, love-hate relationship.
Hey,
It's like a drug.
maybe don't go to space until all of your warehouses have enough bathrooms for your workers, Jeff Bezos, but whatever. The guy's such a piece of crap. Don't be fooled, anybody. Amazon is evil.
Oh boy, yeah, I hear you. What was I gonna say? So yeah, I gotta have you on more often than not. I was thinking at least once every couple months. I mean,
Sure.
you
I'm down.
can tell the people what a great guy I am, or
Eh.
whatever you want to say.
Of course I will.
I
Of course I will.
pay her to say that. But no, this is cool. It's like date night almost. We're celebrating with some champagne. We got
I got a nice, cute little buzz going. It's great.
do you?
Not drunk. Nice
no,
little
no,
buzz.
no. We don't ever do that. We
Never. Not last night. Not
Valerie,
not the last
we are,
podcast. None of it.
We are drunk on love. That's what we are.
Okay.
Now-
Ew.
Now you know I'm drunk. No, I'm not drunk.
Ew.
I'm drunk. But it's fun. No, it's been fun to just. I wanted to tell everyone, hey, we're home. We're home. This is
We
our new
are-
spot, and
We are.
you and I keep telling each other that it's fun. We're like, this is our home. We're
weird.
here.
it's weird to get used to almost because I mean we lived together for 2.5 years already, but there were other people there. Nothing against roommates or our roommates. I love our roommates, like I said before, but whole other ball game when it's just the two of you.
Yeah. You live with a man, I live with a woman. Oh, it's like, oh, what?
We already did.
Yeah, I
Just,
know.
there's another man and woman there. So it's like
Now it's like,
privacy is gold.
oh man, you got that right. And I
Gold.
can't believe how quiet it is over here. Even the parking lot was full today this morning at the church or whatever, and you couldn't hear anything. Like
No.
outside.
There's a fire department and a police department station like just a couple blocks from here, not even. And I never hear sirens. I mean, we're very lucky.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
We
We're
walked into
lucky.
downtown a few times, have dinner, and
That's
that's been a lot
great,
of fun.
yeah.
I mean,
That's been
we're
fun.
blessed, man. This is a cool setup. We like it. Not exactly what we were looking for, but
Right.
it is exactly what we needed. So, and I'm very happy to start this journey with you, Ms. Valerie Burns.
Oh, same here.
Here we are, mid-August. So there was something in August or no? We
Like
talked about
anniversary
we talked
wise,
about getting
or
oh no, there wasn't. Oh, we talked about the last podcast,
Yeah.
5 years together. But your birthday is coming up, and we'll do something big.
I think it's funny that we found a place right after our anniversary, and then I had a 90-day review at work. Well, of officially being hired there. I've been there since December, but I was technically through a temp agency. So
Bam.
some milestones at work though. So that happened, our anniversary, and then we moved. We finally found a place.
Time's flying. We got your birthday, and in celebrating your birthday, football season returns. That's crazy. It happens every year. So good stuff.
If and when we do walk down the aisle, it's not going to be in the fall. I don't want your freaking distracted attention checking your phone as I'm walking towards you on my father's arm. Like, you gotta be kidding me. Gotta be
What
kidding
type of
me.
animal do you take me for? Yes, I'm fine with that.
I do feel like
Keep
you
in
would
mind the Super
suck a little
Bowl
bit
Super
during
Bowl
the
is like
fall.
February, so yeah, anytime after that would be great. Spring, I've heard spring is a great time.
End of February would be good.
Okay.
After Valentine's, I feel like would be good.
Okay, whatever. I'm in. Whatever you want. Again, it's fine. Whatever you want to do. I'm very easy. I hope you've seen that as we moved in here. We have a few pictures to hang, and you're much better with the hammer than I am. I will always assist.
I did hit my thumb earlier, but yeah.
Did you? I feel
I-
bad. Do you feel bad? Well, no. Do you feel like, I don't know, like independent or liberate? I don't know what the phrase is. Being kind
Capable.
the hand-
Yes, I feel capable.
of being the handy woman. Well, I'm kind of like,
I like it though.
yeah.
I feel like something like there's a couple different jobs that I feel like would have really suited me, and I do feel like maybe some kind of mechanic or engineering would have been really good for me. I think.
Yeah,
Pilot too. Pilot's gonna be really good for me. So
no doubt.
I actually had a dream about flying last night.
Oh, did you
I
really?
did. It was a really good one. It gave me a lot of motivation, actually. So yeah, it was a really good dream.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Well,
Random.
now
Random thought.
we'll wrap it up then. It's Sunday evening. We're gonna make a nice dinner. I think celebrate. We've been going out a lot because moving in, we're hit. Do we have
Oh.
pots and pans? Do we have fridge full?
I hate junk food. I
No,
hate fast food now.
no.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
I felt awful. I feel
Yeah.
like I have so much more energy. We had mangoes before we had breakfast this morning.
mangoes. And bacon and bacon.
And
Let's not
later
forget
bacon. Yes.
all the
but
food groups.
you got it. Yes. You got to have that fruit. You got to take care of yourself.
Indeed. Yes, you're gonna help me eat better. That's good. But no, here we are.
Fed it to you.
It's all
To
new
be
rag.
honest, I forced him a little bit. And then he's like, oh, this is really
This is
good.
delicious.
And I'm like, they're
refreshing.
the best in the summer and you have to have them. You have to. Burns family tradition. You got to have those mangoes.
Oh, fantastic. Well, we'll get you back on here soon. I have now that I took the week off last week, I got my regularly scheduled programming with kind of randomness on Mondays. Might be sports, might be a guest here and there, but Wednesdays with Bill Barnes and a new guest every Friday. Got to keep them coming. I wasn't sure how we were going to do the setup in the living room, but I actually kind of like this. Kind of
It
seeing
worked
the
out.
cubby.
Yeah.
We got a few photos of us. My mom there, my Ram stuff.
Can't
Grandpa
really
Leo.
tell from the screen because it just looks like a blur, but those are all pictures.
Photos of
Yeah.
us. Yeah. Is there one in the middle there? Oh no, because those are a thing
No, yeah,
below.
this is probably better.
Oh,
thing
this
to
one.
point with. This is
Oh, there
a
we go.
photo album of us right
Yeah.
there. Anyway, doesn't matter.
Anyway, yeah, for those not watching on YouTube, be sure to check it out. Check out the podcast, subscribe to it, Any comments, likes, it's all appreciated, guys. Thanks for tuning in to this edition of Get Home Safe. I anticipate hearing some feedback about the lovely Valerie Burns being back on the program. Send me some comments if you like, an email, whatever. Say, hey, you got to have her on more, or hey, enough of the lovey-dovey stuff. Bring back sport, whatever.
Wow.
I'm open to comments and criticism, whatever it may be. They could be wrong, but still, I'm open-minded, Val. You know this about me.
I do know this about you for the most part.
Little known fact.
For the most part,
I'm more
you're
open-minded than people realize.
You're very stubborn too, though. So let's
Ah.
not forget that. Let's not forget that.
That I am.
Yeah.
No, I'm right often and I'm stubborn too. So two fun facts.
Okay.
Okay. It's time for us to make dinner and enjoy the rest of our Sunday here before we get back to the work week on Monday. Val, thanks to you for joining me. I thought we did well on this bottle. We
paced
celebrated
it. We paced it well.
8 months we've been waiting and it delivered. Man, I never thought we'd drink that thing. Honestly, it was like,
Never thought.
we're never gonna
Wow.
find a place. After like 4 months,
know,
I started to
it was
get frustrated.
It was getting a little desperate there for a minute, but I'm glad we're saving the bottle.
Yeah.
We're gonna make like a little flower vase or
Little
something out of
cork.
it. I don't know.
Whatever. As long as I don't got to do it. That's all. I support your decision there.
Okay.
Enough. Wait till this camera and these microphones get turned off. I'm gonna get all kinds of.
You make me sound like a monster.
No, you're not. You're a wonderful woman who puts up with me somehow, and yeah, you're wonderful.
You're not that difficult.
I'm not that difficult. That's what people need to understand. Very, very simple. Well, guys, thanks for joining us on this edition of the Get Home Safe podcast. Not always a guest on Monday, but my roommate here and lovely girlfriend, Valerie Burns, was gracious enough to join us. Looking forward to having her back real soon. But guys, have a great start to your week. And as always, no matter what you're doing, whether you're out on the town or around in third base, get home safe. Brutal.